Hello, welcome to the podcast you listen to when you get torching twice in a row. I'm Shrieker.
I'm Josiah.
I'm Jackson. Welcome to the Locksmith podcast.
Nice intro, boys. Let's get this.
Yep. All right. So today, we're going to be discussing relationships again, and then fine arts, and then, if we can get Tanner to show up, we're going to be interviewing him.
And if we don't, we have nothing else to do. So we might have some random talk every once in a while.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe. Let's try to stay pretty close to on topic.
Yeah.
We'll try. Keyword try.
My life was in danger.
My life was in danger? What happened?
I leaned my chair over, but then it kind of caught a little bit. I was kind of moving my chair to the side and it caught, and it went.
If I fell back,
and I was still.
Do I fall back on my? I don't want to find out.
I nearly got a concussion.
All right.
I move to the side, so I don't. When I do fall back, I fall back on my bed.
Anyway.
Or at least my head.
Yep.
Yeah.
Water drinking simulator 2020. I'm your host, Shrieker. Anyways, yeah, back on topic.
Right. So, relationships. So
I don't really know what to say.
Yeah.
To be honest, relationship.
Oh, see. Okay, last time we I don't really know what we
talked about. Okay, so last time. Yeah, that's right. Last time, because that was our first one. So last time we touched on how much you know people, choosing sides and drama. So we might do a little bit of a brush on those, and then we're going to move on to how to treat them, how to treat your partners, reasonable expectations and unreasonable expectations, and red flags in the relationship.
Chad. I don't know.
I still hear that creaking noise.
Is it this plastic? Probably.
Possibly.
Is it stopped?
Kind of. It stopped now.
Because I stopped.
Yeah, it's gone.
I stopped moving the plastic.
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, let me just put this back on the rack.
All right.
There.
Yeah, I'll kind of let you guys really talk about I'll let you guys start with what we did the first time we did this back in episode 1, which was ages ago.
All right.
Then I'll just
Actually, I think Shrieker left.
So far back that I don't even remember what was said.
I think you missed part of it because you had to leave.
Yeah.
I'll just
every so often.
I do that sometimes.
So in our first one, we talked about let's see if I can remember. We talked about so one of the first things we talked about was drama.
Drama.
Yeah, drama and the pressure that drama can put on a relationship. So like we talked about how if there's a section leader dating a drum major, that's going to be a pretty well-known relationship.
Yeah.
And then if it with well-known relationships, there's pressure on the people in the relationship to keep being in the relationship or to break up. So
yeah,
I guess so.
And then
with YouTube then Hollywood couples.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Will Smith and his wife. So apparently she cheated on Will Smith, and his response was, "It's Hollywood. What do you expect?" Oh no, that wasn't his response. That was someone else's response, and I thought it was hilarious.
Okay.
Yep.
Will Smith is awesome.
Yes.
Smell with what?
Why cheat on that man?
I mean, don't ask me, because I wouldn't know.
Nope. Okay, so after drama, we talked about choosing sides, I believe. Choosing sides as Baden brought up choosing sides. I believe it was around the topic of choosing sides in drama.
Yeah.
Like when drama stirs up, you choose a side and you peer pressure, kind of choosing sides with peer pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
that was loud.
take one side in a relationship when something happens. Like Josiah, if it was like you and Harry Potter, and the two of you were like having a disagreement about something, and then we all like took sides.
That'd be dumb.
Yeah, I mean,
y'all could take sides, but it becomes an issue when, like you try to force someone.
Yeah, take a side.
Like you can say, say she and I were arguing about which is better, dogs versus cat. Y'all can choose sides. I mean, that's not. But if y'all are like, and this is more like for anything really, at least in this instance, like this situation, this example, it's not the right. Like it's kind of not. You shouldn't choose a side and then go in and like badger the other person until they give up and choose the other side.
Yeah, on that point, I hate it when people like insert themselves into the situation. Like,
yes,
if it's something small, yeah, I'd understand. But if it's like big and it's between those two people, you leave it between those people while consoling the person's side you're on.
Well, I would say there are times when you do need to interject, even if you're not.
Yeah.
Like if you have extra information that neither of them have, and you need to give it to them because that's going to make a difference.
Yeah.
Sure. But don't just butt in to say, "Hey, yes, this person's right. You should listen to them." And then you can say that, but just don't go on and badger the other person.
Like there was a YouTube couple that broke up early this year, and then recently there's just been a ton of drama between them because the guy, after like 4 or 5 months of basically going into a state of depression, he finally got together with another girl. And now everyone's like beating him up about it, beating up his ex a little bit about it, and beating up his new girlfriend about it. And it's like, it's not okay.
Wait, off the record, who are you talking about?
Some YouTube, I don't know, just some YouTube couple. I've just heard about it from some other friends.
Because I think I know who you're talking about, but I don't know if I'm right.
I don't know.
All right. So yeah, choosing sides isn't the best.
Yeah, it's
honestly, it just like puts unnecessary pressure on either side.
Yeah.
Mainly because I haven't experienced that, but I've seen it happen. It doesn't go out well. Like the two people I'm like referring to, they know who they are because it was bad, and like I still feel some like slither of tension. Like of course they squashed the beef. They talked it over. There's still some like leftover, I don't know, just leftover stuff. But it's a lot better than it was 2 years ago. And yeah, honestly, just don't interject unless you are like absolutely forced to, or you're just concerned for the person's well-being.
Yeah.
Don't do it if you're hoping to like increase your own, like how well known you are. Then that's not a.
Honestly, if you're just friends with someone with clout, that's messed up in general.
Yeah, no, don't.
Yeah.
Don't be doing it just for clout.
On a random topic, so I got my first ever, what's it called, blackhead, and so I didn't know what to do to deal with it. I'm like, should I wait it out, or should I take the safety pin and try to pick it out? And as noticeable from this red spot on my nose, I took the second option. So basically, it worked. I got the blackhead out, but I picked out so much skin, like just. Yeah.
That's not
just
fun.
Like it's like a red booger on my nose.
Tricker, you need to stop sniffing the food coloring.
Shh, that's not important, man. Listen, okay, I know my nose is red. Alright, you gotta blame Rudolph for that.
Shrieker just snorting food coloring. Just like.
I have a pair of Smarties right here. Too bad that's my glass table.
That's an image I did not need.
Yeah. All right.
Next thing.
So the next thing we talked about last time was Breaker, your water bottle is loud.
Loud, I know. Sorry. That's why I'm like, during transitions, that's when I'm pouring the water.
Yeah, I mean, you can just say that you're gonna use your water bottle, and then we'll just stop talking so that I can just cut it out. We don't miss anything.
Oh, sorry. All right.
I mean, like, you can do it. Just
noted.
let us know when you do it so that we can stop talking, so we don't have to cut out any of our talking.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's fine. The other thing, the next thing we talked about on the last podcast was what was it? Oh, it's how well you actually ever know someone. Did Jackson leave? No, he's there.
No, I'm still here.
It's how well you ever know someone. So Baden and I were talking about how you never really completely know someone.
That's true. That's very true.
Because there's always going to be something that even if you're trying to be completely honest and open with someone, they're not going to know everything about you. Because even if it's something that there's a point where you're just like, I've known this person so long, they know everything about me.
Excuse me. Sorry, I just burped twice. But yeah, continue on with what you're saying.
There's points. You can never really completely know someone.
Yeah, like, I see this often too. Well, like, telling people, it's like, hey, are you feeling this? No, you are feeling this. You should stop. And, of course, maybe they are. Maybe they're just needing to hear what they're, maybe they need to hear what they're, thinking. To get over something, right? Like, someone's, like not feeling too good. You need someone to cheer them up, right? But if they're feeling good because of something that you don't know about, ask them first. Listen to what they're doing. Listen to what they're saying. And, when you hear that, don't interject with your own, I don't know, experiences. Do that afterwards, so they know you're listening. Just, every once in a while, do social cues, yeah, okay, stuff like that. And then share your experiences that you might find similar to theirs. And if they say something along those lines, you stop, you listen to them more, and then you try to give some advice that may help them. Or screw them over, either one.
Yep.
I sound like a James Bond villain, just shrinking my
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
That's about it for what we talked about last time. So let's move on to the subtopics we have for this week.
The first one is how you should treat the other person. So, well, there's the obvious things of how not to treat somebody. Don't be a butthole.
Censored by Jackson. Oh, Jackson himself.
No, just be a good person. There's one thing I've heard people say is treat a girl how you want another man to treat your daughter. It's
that's a good point. Yeah,
I
wouldn't want to.
It's an okay point. Some fathers are overbearing.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Don't suffocate your partner. As far as I know, I've never been in a relationship, but I would hate to be trapped in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
If someone gets jealous with you hanging out with another friend,
no.
For health
down,
this
buddy.
year. This year, in health class, we had to watch a video or a movie called it was something like No One Would Tell or something like that. And this girl, she started dating a guy, and the guy, he was one of the popular wrestling kids at the school. And he was, as he called, jealous. And so he would hit her, he would pin her to a wall and yell at her, and he would say afterwards he would just kind of I'm sorry, I'm just jealous, you can't do this and expect me not to be jealous. And he was to the point where he wouldn't let her talk to other guys. And she was part of the issue too. She she believed him, kind of. She was okay with it.
Yeah, but like with abusive relationships like that, I would say,
but
it's in a situation where like people react differently. You can't just say it's their fault, right?
Yeah.
But with someone who's like pinning them to the wall, beating them, that's like number one. You shouldn't go through that.
Exactly.
Two, you never know how someone will react. So when they react the way you do, or they do, you can't blame them, right?
I mean, you can.
Maybe they're into that. That's messed up, but maybe they're into that.
Well, no, she would. It wasn't that she was into it. She would just say, like, "Oh, it's fine. It's just him being him. It's what he does. It's how he shows his love."
Minimizing is a common thing in abuse, like in general. And
she got to the point where she wouldn't accept. Like her best friend was trying to tell her over and over again, "This isn't okay. You need to get away from him." And she eventually got her to come around, and then she broke up with him, and. Surprise, surprise. It was very surprising. They go, so he, like a week after they've broken up or something, he invites her over to his house to give him a haircut. Because it was, I believe that's what it was, but because they planned that a while before. And he asked her to come with him and his friend to a lake where they spent their first date or whatever. He took her out to the lake, took her out of the car, made the best friend stay in the car, the other friend. And he took her out beside the lake behind some bushes and he killed her. And he tossed her in the lake in a body bag. And then he went back to his friend. And because he was talking, like he tried to make her kiss her, or he tried to make her kiss him. And he said no. And so he stabbed her and said, "I can't, nobody can." So that's a very, very extreme example of.
It's an extreme example, but it would happen.
That is a bit of an extreme.
But it's a good way of showing this is the sort of thing that's bad.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning, it was just like little comments here and there, and then it started ramping up, and it's just we'll talk about this later in this segment, but those are red flags.
Yeah, red flags. That's the term I was looking for.
That's another one of our subtopics.
There's two things to learn from like that kind of thing. One, don't be that person.
Yeah.
And two, avoid.
Stay away from that person. Yeah.
And then you also have to think about oh no, I just forgot what I was gonna say. Brain farts.
Yeah, brain farts, dude. Let's go. To be honest, just number one, here's what I like to think. Always listen to your best friend, and you're not always aware of everything that's happening from an observer's standpoint.
Yeah.
But not everyone's aware of what's happening in the relationship, between y'all, from an observer's standpoint.
Yeah. So just take everything with a grain of salt.
Yes.
Yeah. Be mindful. I'd say.
Yeah.
One of my friends was dating someone recently, and it was I kind of started to notice that he didn't want to be around their old friends as much. They only wanted to be around the person they were dating. So it's also you should also, when you're dating somebody, you should also not forget your friends, because then they also could help you. Just
unless your boyfriend is telling you, unless you trust your boyfriend so much and realize that your friends are scummy. Sometimes it could be the other way around.
Yeah,
sometimes you realize your boyfriend, girlfriend, or other pronouns in relationships that I'm not aware of. My bad. It's just you have to trust who you think you should trust, which may not go the right way, and I like to believe that it usually does go the right way, but when it doesn't, you kind of screwed. Because if you choose a side, I don't understand if you're in an abusive relationship with friends or your partner. It's hard to choose, right? What if both of them are wrong or both of them are right, or one or the other, right? It's just you are in a tough position you can't listen to your partner, or you can't listen to your friends. You got to make that decision yourself, or have some guidance from your parents, right?
Yes, or like bring in a third party of some kind, or I guess a fourth party.
Yeah, fourth party. Bring as many as you need to, but don't bring too many, because that would kind of bring too much attention to it, right?
I think that is a problem some people have, like when they have an argument between people, they bring in as many people as they can into it because they just want to have as many people in to back them up or to whatever. But if you bring in too many people, then it kind of makes makes it harder on the person, on everybody as a whole, because like the common example is the very, very stereotypical example is like the husband and wife having an argument over somebody or over something, and then the wife brings in like 20 of her friends, and then they just like destroy the guy, even if he doesn't have a chance to say anything that he wants to say.
Yeah, that's another thing. Scheming in relationships. That's
gang up on the guy, or gang up on the person. Yeah. Sorry, always the guy. Sometimes the guy's the one ganging up on.
Yeah, and also another thing, like from the same example, shutdowns, to where, you're trying to, from the same example, the wife, if they're not letting the husband talk, they're shutting down the husband. The husband's not able to say anything. He's just he's being forced to accept whatever they say because he's not allowed to get edgewise.
Just whack him over the head with stuff over and over again, just beating him into the ground. Like, come on.
Yeah, and if you have a partner, listen to them. And if you think they're wrong, don't yell at them, right? Don't escalate your voice or anything for that matter.
Use the floppy things on the sides of your head.
Yeah, exactly. The thing that I look for in someone, that kind of makes me sound shallow, but let me explain myself. I look for someone who's not quick to be aggressive, right? Yeah. Because I like to talk about my arguments. So I don't like to yell at them. Because yelling, I don't like yelling at all. Unless I'm gaming. In that case, you'll hear me from 3 houses down. So yelling is not what I like to do when I argue. I like to have a logical conversation. Of course, I'm still going to have emotions, right? But it's just I don't want to bring them in. I want to have a mutual understanding of something that happened, right? Of course, it's not always going to happen, but I would like to have fewer arguments of yelling and irrational statements and stuff. Also another thing, don't bring up the past or things that you've moved past.
Yes.
Yeah, that's about it.
Unless it depends on what thing is in the past, but if it's an argument in the past, depending on the state of the argument, well, I don't know about that, because I would say if it's something in the past that hasn't, if you're not wanting to bring it up, it's probably something that needs to be brought up to be finished. It's just something in the back of your mind.
Well, I guess it's more of a don't bring up someone's past mistakes.
Or don't bring up something you
or if unless it's the same mistake over and over again.
Yeah, if you give someone who cheated on you once another chance and they've cheated on you again, go away. Get out of here.
At that point, just you gotta really hit home, right? You gotta hit home.
Put your foot down.
Yeah. If you repeat the same mistakes as the past, that's when you bring it up.
Then if it's one mistake, don't bring up that one mistake over and over again. I used to have a problem with that. One of my friends,
depending on the nature of the mistake, because if it's a small mistake, and it's something that you can look back on and laugh on, sure. Yeah. But if it's something that they're really embarrassed by and they're not they know they made a mistake and I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen again, just don't bring it up. There's no point to it.
Yeah, exactly. Move past stuff, right?
Yeah.
Also, I'm about to pour water, so loud stuff.
All right.
Welcome to my water pouring simulator.
Water pouring compilation. Streaker pouring water.
Let's go.
But then,
I'm done.
Then a good ways to treat your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Good things I feel like in a relationship, you should know the person well enough, if you're in a relationship with them, to know what a good thing to do for them is.
Not necessarily. You should at least be. You should either, because when you're in a relationship, you don't. If it's at the beginning of the relationship, you don't necessarily know them very, very well.
But you should at least know enough about them to know a nice gift to get them or something
well, not necessarily. You should at least be on the track to that.
Yeah, you should be able to get not necessarily get them something, but you should know something that they would appreciate you doing for them. I don't know. Something I personally try to do is if I'm gonna give someone a gift, I try to figure out what's something they want, what's something they would enjoy, and then something like that. With Indiana last year for her birthday, I got her $20 to end a website thing so she could buy her own fez and so she'd stop stealing mine. And then for Steve's birthday this year, earlier back in March, I got him a t-shirt that was a t-shirt that he thought was just absolutely hilarious.
Hey Steve. Minecraft. Right, forget Minecraft. Yeah, sorry. I need to get a fez one day.
I wouldn't say that it's know them well enough to know what to get them, because there's some people who it's just really hard to know, because it would depend on the person, because there are some people who are really hard to know what to get them. Know them well enough.
What you're referring to is love languages. For some people it's quality time, for some people it's physical touch, gifts, reaffirmation. I'm pretty sure I butchered that word, and something else I forgot. But yeah. Anyways, just continue your point.
Yeah. I would just say know them well enough to not that. I don't know. It's different for all couples.
Yeah.
It's know them. Just know them.
Yeah.
Know them to whatever extent.
Sorry, your cat behind you. Its tail was just wiggling around. Wait, is that? Anyways, go on.
Who's?
Oh no, you. Just your cat was behind you and it was wiggling its tail.
She's in front of me. She's on my lap.
Oh, she was on your lap?
Yes, she's on my lap.
I saw its tail, and I was just so confused.
Yeah, her tail's sticking around. She's on my lap. Kissy.
Yeah, I saw it behind your shoulder. I was so confused for a second. Anyways. So let's,
I would just say, know them. Hey, where are you going? Know them to where, I don't know. I would get to the point where you're friends before you get into a relationship.
Yeah, I would rather have a friend first than a relationship.
Yes, that's.
And there's some people who that's not how they go, but if you're in a relationship with someone who you don't know very well, you should at least be on the people who go on to dating sites. You should at least be on the track to getting to know them that well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think I can do dating apps. If I just find someone I barely know anything about them, I'm out of here. Peace.
Yeah, that's hard. I can't even it's difficult for me to talk to people I don't know.
Right?
It's just, I'm not just gonna go on a messaging app and message them hey, do you want to go out? That's just no. Sorry.
I would rather ask them out in person, and if I don't, I'll just be on the rebuttal, oh yeah, but we can still be friends, right?
There's nothing wrong with dating apps. It's just they're not for me.
Yeah, you'd rather meet them in person and then ask them out, and so that you can know that they're not a 50-year-old guy.
Yeah.
With a white van.
Unless you're into that. Oh wait, white van part. No, that last part. I heard that last part too late.
Yeah.
If you're 15 and you're into pedophiles, please stop. Maybe even younger. Please stop. Get some help. You know what I mean.
All right. So, should we Move on. Okay, so the last part of that subtopic is overbearingness.
Yeah.
Which is one of the bad
Too
things.
much control.
Too much control. I would say like the jealousy, like intense jealousy, and being smothering. Because I think that's one. Mothering, so I will. Well, there's an example that I have for smothering, kind of.
Yeah.
There's a couple that was in a.
Start with the example.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. But like mothering can go one of two ways. Mothering can be you care for that person, and if you see that something's wrong, you ask them like excessively about them until they tell you what's up.
And for that, I would
mothering can also be being overprotective and not letting anyone see them or something like that.
Yeah.
Like from It, one of the main characters' moms was like, "Oh, you have an illness, you can't go out for too long," and it turned out that the mother lied, that the illness was fake. That's like overbearing.
Yeah, that's way overbearing.
Yeah.
But I would say there are sometimes when you're overbearing and you don't know it. Like for me, I don't think I'm overbearing to Harry Potter, but I trust her enough that if I would think that she would tell me.
Yeah.
You know?
Josiah, you are definitely not overbearing.
Well, you're not Harry Potter, so you wouldn't know.
Well, okay.
But at least I'm not overbearing.
That just comes off.
Bonzo became creepy.
That's a little overbearing, for a friend at least.
Yeah.
So my example was, I'll keep them anonymous on the podcast as usual. But y'all know, I'll do last name initials. So P and G, and P and G.
Yeah.
One's a French horn player and one's a percussionist. Yeah. But they were dating.
Real quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I have no idea who you're talking about.
Okay. That's absolutely fine.
All right. Just
they started dating in middle school. And they broke up last year sometime. But like I heard from people, like I believe it. I don't know who it was. It was someone who went with their group in Universal. I'm trying to think. I don't remember who it was, but they were talking about how G was really overbearing in the group with P. Yes. We'll do for him A. He's A. But because he came over, he was like, yeah, G wouldn't let she wouldn't let P out of her sight. She wouldn't let P sit next to anyone else. She wouldn't let him. She tried to she would only let him talk to her, pretty much. Something like
that's overbearing.
Yeah, that's a. I was like, wow, that's
quite the problem there, buddy.
Yeah.
Almost as if you could end that.
Yeah, they did. They're breaking up.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think. I don't think P really cared or noticed. I'm not sure, but Pepper's talking. Hi.
You should make it special for Josiah. Special for Josiah. Just cat talking.
She's on my floor, and she's just looking at me. And she's like she's just when you pass someone in the hall, you nod at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's doing that. She was looking at me, and she's like, "Hey,
how's it going?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
The difference between guys and girls seeing each other in public. Guys just a quick nod. For girls, just hey. Guys,
dude, have you seen?
I don't know you, but I know you.
Yeah, but Indian moms, dude, you don't understand. They would stop traffic to talk to each other. Indian parents in general. To be honest, not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just you're on a highway, buddy. And I have places to be.
We're going 70 miles an hour, please.
Everyone else is going 70 miles per hour. We're going 0.7 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Oh well. You learn to do it.
Don't be overbearing.
Yeah, it's not a good thing to do.
Or don't consciously be overbearing. There's not much you can do if you're unconsciously overbearing. except that listen to your partner. If they tell you that you're overbearing, you're overbearing.
If they hold up a cross and say, be back, be gone, something like that, that's when you know.
Don't be the crazy, and then also, if your partner breaks up with you because you're overbearing, and then you won't stop it, then don't try to ruin their life about it. Don't be the crazy boyfriend or girlfriend who just ruins your life because they broke up. It's like, no, don't be like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't go hunt down every one of their next girlfriends or boyfriends and stalk them on Instagram and corner them in dark alleys and whatever. Don't be like that.
Don't drug them up. Come on.
Pepper.
Reasonable and unreasonable expectations.
Wait, real quick.
Hang on. Shrieker, you're when you drink water, you are very audible.
Wait, actually?
just letting you know.
Oh,
you
boy.
can hear you gulp.
Alright, let me just drink my water first. Sorry. I had no idea.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have thought it would be audible either, but it was just like, hey, I hear gulping. That's weird.
That's legal.
Yeah.
I kind of lied. This isn't water. This is tea I made. Hold on, let me get the hot air out so it doesn't expand the plastic and stuff. Also, free screening, I guess.
Just drop an ice cube in it or something.
That'll make it worse, to be honest.
Pepper, you look lost.
Honestly, I would like to see ice being dropped into hot steam.
Pepper, come sit. Come sit. Kitty.
Hopefully I don't scald myself with vapor. Wait, I just realized. Echo. Oh, that makes a deep wood. Ooh, no, that doesn't work.
That sounds like a cow.
It sounds like
the brown cow.
Yeah.
All right. So.
But I'm too lazy.
All right. Are we ready?
Later.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So our next thing, reasonable,
2020,
unreasonable expectations.
Yeah, reasonable and unreasonable expectations. So this would be like
unreasonable. Would be like buying you a new car every year.
Yeah, that's a very unreasonable expectation. Yeah, and also being perfect.
Yeah, you have to let them make mistakes. That's goes back to the whole don't be willing to forgive and forget.
Yes.
Unless it happens multiple times.
Yeah, in that case it's okay, hold up.
You can still forgive and forget, but there's a point where you can't.
Yes.
There's a point where it's this is getting to the point where it's going to start affecting my life. So
yeah, if you move too fast and your partner is audible about it, or just I don't know, moving too much, as in going too fast, too short, right? And it doesn't take a lot to realize that you are, unless you're just unconsciously doing it out of just pure desperation. In that case, ouch. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Another kind of unreasonable is don't expect your partner to to pay for absolutely everything. One kind of a thing I go by who should pay is whoever's taking the person out on the date.
Yeah.
Is paying. So
that's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah. If I ask somebody out on a date, then I would be paying. But if she asks me out, then she would pay.
That's a reasonable expectation.
Yeah, because it's inviting someone to your birthday party and making them pay for the birthday party.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Yeah, you pay for your birthday party.
I've been to one before. They're hey, bring $20 outside of my birthday gift. I'm okay, for what? It's you'll see. And then they bring us to Chewy's. $20 isn't enough for Chewy's, man. I got a quesadilla, but that quesadilla was pretty good, not gonna lie. It's not the best quesadilla I've had. Chipotle holds that title because you can actually put your stuff in the quesadilla. like Sofritas.
I've only been to Chipotle like twice, but
it's not everyone's cup of tea, you know.
Yeah,
but it is mine. I can say that. I go there almost every week.
The other day, my entire family went and got Chipotle. Like the one day that I wasn't home.
Nice.
One day I was like, "Come on, if you're gonna get Chipotle, then
at least wait a day, man."
Chipotle.
God dang it, man. Honestly though, Chipotle, I finally got quesadillas. I had to wait for 4 months to get quesadillas because, like, apparently quesadillas are in the secret menu. I've said this multiple times already. Yep. You guys probably already heard this. But, like, quesadillas are finally back. Let's go. And quesadillas, if you're into that. I only do that if I want to not eat for the next month. Yeah. So, just become a monk.
Yeah. What are some other unreasonable expectations?
To always be ready, you know, to always be willing, to always be like open, you know.
Yeah.
Another thing, to always be at your beck and call.
Yeah, that's. Ooh, what was that?
I have no idea. But like, you can't just always expect someone to just, like, if you text them, to just respond right away.
That.
I mean, like, for me, I do my best to respond right away, but I mean, I wouldn't be very. I mean, I do kind of expect people to expect me to
I
respond right away.
Expect people to respond right away.
I mean, I have a friend who gets mad at you if you don't respond within 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing that's unreasonable. I mean, for me, it's reasonable for people to expect me to respond right away, because I make a point of trying to respond as soon as I can. But and also I almost always have my phone on me where I can't respond right away. But it's just, you can't put someone in a position where they have an expectation to where they feel like they have to respond right away.
Oh, also, don't expect the other person to. Oh, right. Hold on. Let me put my phone in charging.
So what?
Sorry, my phone's at 20%. No, it isn't, because I'm charging it. But as I was saying, don't expect people to always be willing, or don't expect your partner to always make the first move, right?
Yes.
A common expectation is that the guy always has to ask the girl out. Now, preferably, I would like to be the one to ask someone out, but if a girl asks someone out, I won't bat an eye. I think that's normal. I think that's great. But you don't expect something.
The first time Harry Potter and I went to a dance, she was the one to ask.
Really?
Yep.
That's interesting.
Oh yeah.
No one knew that we went together.
I remember talking about that. The day of, you were talking about, I'm trying to figure out who it was.
It wasn't the day of, it was a week before, because she asked me that week.
I mean, the day that it happened. I was like, you kept talking about it, I'm trying to figure out what they meant by it. I remember you saying that somebody had asked you out to the dance, and I was like,
I didn't say someone did. I said someone may have.
Oh, yeah. That's what it was. I was like, I took that to mean that you thought that you might have gotten the wrong, that they had meant for it to go to someone else, but.
Well, it's not that. I was thinking, well, there's a possibility that she could have been delivering it for someone else.
Yeah.
It could have not been from her.
That's what
then,
you said.
I asked Indiana, and she said that the handwriting was her handwriting. I was like, oh. So nice. It probably wasn't someone else. So.
I mean, it works.
That's the story of how you became the Prince of Bel-Air.
But then the second 2 times, I asked her, so.
Yeah, I get that. It's a matter of preference, you know. If you need your space, every once in a while, if you just have I don't know, not episode, but that's the closest thing that I can do. Just have if you need a certain time to yourself, let them have it. Let your partner have it. You know, don't just be like, yeah, but I'll be there with you, and then they're like, no, don't force yourself. You know.
Yeah.
Don't push your luck.
Don't be the the overbearing girlfriend meme. It's like
girlfriend or boyfriend.
Whatever. Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, I'm saying that meme like as a general. Like, the meme is a girlfriend. I'm telling this to everyone.
Our ideal partners. Yeah, I get that.
No, I'm making the relationship to a meme that's a girlfriend, but I'm talking to literally everyone. It's like, don't be the one that's like, oh, you wanted some alone time? Good, I'll come over right now. It's like, what?
Like you don't do that. Also, the game, like the texting game or whatever, I hate that. Honestly, if you just want to text someone. If you want to call someone, ask them first.
You mean like playing hard to get, that sort of thing?
Yeah, hard to get.
Yeah, I never understood that, because that's like, I get what you're trying to get at, but it's not. It doesn't work. It just makes you feel like they're not gonna make someone grow more distant, not bring them closer.
I mean, like, yeah, pretty much.
It's like, if someone's not going to respond to me, I'm just not going to text them.
I'm not much of a texting guy. So, like, when I text someone, I don't really put effort into it. Of course, I'm trying to work on that. But, like, I'm more of a calling person. And, of course, I know my limits when the other person doesn't want to call. I'll just be like, do you want to call? No. And they're like, oh, are you busy? No. And I'm like, alright, that's fine.
Yeah. I have a friend who, we, like, throughout quarantine, we've been trying to set up times to, like, do group FaceTimes. But they are the kind of person that doesn't want to FaceTime because it's like a...
They just don't like looking at their, I don't know, their reflection is not the right word.
I'm not gonna, I know the reason, but I'm not gonna say it, so...
Okay. That makes sense.
It's just, like, kind of a personal reason. That's just...
Respect boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, if you... Yeah, respect boundaries, as just I said. If someone has something, just respect it.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to go to...
you just...
Yeah, can you say that again?
But...
Speaker, can you say that again?
If you really want to get Taco Bell...
Can you say that again? It glitched out for me. I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, it, like, went crazy.
Nice.
Huge lag spikes.
Yeah, lag spikes, man. I love Spectrum Internet. As I was saying, if you go to Chipotle but your partner wants Taco Bell, what is wrong with you? You're probably insane. Why would you consider Taco Bell as a contender to Chipotle? But, like, if they're adamant on it, then yeah, sure, you can drive by Taco Bell and take your food home.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't see the problem.
But
I mean, it's like, even better. Don't go to, like, you just drive through and then go to like a park or something.
Yeah, a park. I love picnics. Picnics are nice especially after a nice long hike. Hikes.
I like picnics at night. Like, I just like being outside at night.
I hate being outside at night unless it's a public place. Like, in my backyard, I would be like, I just don't like staying outside, right? Because
I don't like being outside like in my backyard alone. I don't like if I'm with someone else. Yeah, that would be more. It would make it fun.
If there's another person you can, like, maybe trip if a bear appears, then, like, yeah, it's fine. But being alone with no one to trip, that's when it's starting to get worse.
Exactly.
Should a bear appear, or a lion, or whatever, you want to have someone there that you can trip so that you can get away.
Sacrifices must be made.
Yeah.
Honestly,
like, zombie apocalypse, you're just like, sorry, buddy, you're the one you're the one that we're gonna throw to the zombies first.
The council has voted.
Get out. We have voted. The council has decided your fate. Some reasonable expectations. It's like, like remembering a birthday.
Yeah.
Like,
So hi.
For like 2 years. You should expect them to know when your birthday is. Maybe not maybe it depends, like, on the circumstances, but maybe not like giving you like a car or something for your birthday, but
maybe like
at
a
least
small
some sort
scrapbook.
of like, hey, happy birthday. Guess what? I'm taking you to dinner tonight, or something like that.
Yeah,
something simple like.
Yeah, I'm taking you to dinner in the Empire State Building. Speaking of which, Empire State Building. What is that? I forget.
It's an office building of some sort.
Some kind. Someone probably.
Why is it popular?
I don't know.
I think it's just because it's a big building.
It's a big boy building, go bird.
I think it's just because it has like 100 floors or something like that.
I mean,
Yeah, it's
the
like
King
the
and
tall
Queen Tower in
building.
Atlanta. I mean, of course, it doesn't have 100 floors, but they're the King and Queen Tower because they look like chess pieces. That's pretty cool, and I feel like that needs to be recognized more often. But aside from that, yeah, the Empire State Building is, it's, I don't know what to think about it.
But like more reasonable expectations, like, I don't know, like expecting someone. Okay, you can expect someone. If you're in a relationship, you can expect your partner to spend time with you, not all their time, and not like you can expect, hey, we're in a relationship. We're gonna spend time together, you know?
Yeah. We'll go watch.
Except right now you can't necessarily expect that right now because COVID. But
COVID, yeah.
Coronavirus.
Yeah, nothing.
Typically,
you should expect to we've been dating for a while. Let's go watch a movie together. Or something like that.
There's some cases where you can't. Like for me, I'm not allowed to do like that until junior year, so next year.
Okay. Let's see.
But like most of the time, like even you can expect your partner to not be bothered by being around you.
Yeah.
Typically, unless you've done something to upset them.
Yeah. Like you killed their brother or
burned down their house, stole their savings. The usual stuff.
You took a sledgehammer to their car, or
they slashed it.
Like
stole their
like
auto
that.
insurance
Then
card
you can
and
expect
framed
them
them
to
in
be
a car
mad.
accident.
Then there's a reasonable expectation for them to be mad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Basically. I mean, you clubbed their dog upside the head. Of course they're gonna be mad at you.
And you're probably gonna be upset with yourself.
If they club my dog, dude, let's just say
that's not something you
girl
need to
on the
be
river
with.
will have some company.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, Shrieker.
Don't mess with my dog.
I would say it definitely would depend on the circumstances for that. Because, like, I could understand a little bit if, like, say, there are two situations where I could understand it. One, it's an accident, like they were doing something and something fell and it hit the dog.
Yeah, if it was an accident.
And the second being if, like, you're doing golf. You're doing golf and the dog, like, you're taking a swing and the dog runs in front of you. I could also understand that. That's a little worse.
Why would you take a dog to a golf park?
I don't know.
Go to a dog park.
Or like.
But I mean, I could understand that it probably was an accident. But still, I'd probably be upset.
Or
don't hit my cat with a golf club.
Yeah. Ooh. Or like Josiah, if like your cat came in and like started trying to like murder someone.
Yeah.
Like it starts like clawing their face or something, and then the person like smacks the cat against the wall.
If it's self-defense, I can understand. Like,
then
live and learn, right?
Like, oh yeah, sorry, my dog tried to bite your head off. I guess it deserves I guess it kind of deserves getting clubbed in the head with a brick.
I mean, at that point, it's the trainer's fault, right? For like not like how do I say this? Not training the dog correctly.
Yeah, it's like like yeah, pretty much.
Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Tanner isn't coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Random talk, boys. Let's go.
Red flags. What are some red flags?
Red flags. I mean, red flags in general. We covered them throughout all of these.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, then there's also like, I mean, you need to be on like the same page as to where your relationship is. Like, if one of you thinks that it's like that you're at the point when like you can spend the night together, but the other one thinks you're at the point you're still back at the holding hands stage, then okay, that's not good. You shouldn't be on completely different pages. Like,
yeah, that makes sense. Like, they say opposites attract, and that's like not really true. Sure, if you like to explore people, that sounds wrong, but that's a thing. People do that. Like, I understand why people are attracted to opposites, but it's just like, how do I say this? I'm not like I don't understand that. I can't understand that. Like, I would like someone who like when people say opposites attract, I'm like, okay, but what if you both like different genres of movies? Like, you can't just, you gotta find some common ground, right? Like, not complete opposites, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say. I'd say like because Harry Potter's a pessimist and I'm an optimist, so I would say that it could be a coincidence, you know. Yes.
Oh, Harry Potter. Oh.
Yeah, that Harry Potter.
Like, what? Wait,
I'm not attracted to the movie Harry Potter. To the guy. I'm not attracted to the Daniel Radcliffe Harry Potter.
I mean, I would understand why you would be.
You're attracted to the J.K. Rowling Harry Potter.
No, yeah, not that one either. I'm attracted to the female one.
I'm joking.
Louis Joko. I don't know. I don't speak Spanish.
Then like, so.
Spinach. I don't know. I don't speak Spanish.
Yeah. Like, if one of you wants to watch horror movies all night, but the other one wants to watch The Notebook 40 times.
Yeah, I would love to watch horror movies all night.
Yes, that would be awesome.
One of you wants to watch nothing but horror movies. The other one wants to
and
watch
that's another thing. Like, Harry Potter and I both enjoy horror.
Really?
Yes.
Like, you gotta find some common ground, right? Like, if you want to spend a night together and it's gonna be a sleepover, horror movies, man. Horror movies are the go-to. Like, you know.
Yes.
You won't sleep. You'll make the most of your time. It's big brain.
Yes.
Honestly, though, I can take horror pretty well. So.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just don't watch horror because I just don't.
Yeah, like, I understand if you don't like
horror. Some people don't enjoy horror, you know.
I just don't enjoy it because
I'm leaning way too far back on this. I'm gonna kill my shoulder if I fall.
I just want to
keep on doing this.
I'm more of like action movies, like I love
those are good too. Yeah.
Marvel is like I love Marvel, and then
I think DC stepping up.
Mission Impossible.
Yes, Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
Fast and Furious.
Most of them are on Amazon Prime. Most of them are on Amazon Prime, which is nice. So I have them on demand. Jumanji. Yeah, that's not good.
Jumanji's good. That kind of movie's good.
I feel like DC gets a bad rep for movies with Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And also Justice League. But Wonder Woman,
Wonder Woman's pretty good.
I haven't actually gotten
Aquaman,
that movie.
Shazam, those are great.
I haven't actually gotten to see those three, but I've heard they're really good.
Have y'all ever seen the movies, like the kind of movie like where it's like that, it's like a bunch of kids who nothing's expected of them, and then the teacher comes in and encourages them, and then they do something great.
Like
have y'all ever seen McFarland? Have y'all ever seen McFarland?
No, I haven't. No. But it sounds like a good movie preface.
Is it like Danny McPhee or Mary Poppins or something?
No, it's like I watched one last night where it's a bunch of kids, high school kids who nothing's expected of them. They're expected to, and they're not even legal immigrants. And then they get a teacher that comes in and encourages them, and they end up doing something great.
Yeah.
Okay. Like feel-good movies?
Those are okay movies. Yeah.
Feel-good movies are nice too.
Some of those okay, they've made so many movies about like dogs either like running away or being taken away from the home and then making a journey back home. Like so many of them.
We should probably get back on track.
Okay. Well, I mean, at this point, we have nothing else planned. This is just random.
We have like one other thing.
No, we have fine arts planned.
Yeah. Fine arts planned.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't really have much to say for fine arts aside from theater. It doesn't get any respect.
Well, we have stuff that we're going over for
theater.
Them.
I don't really know it. I don't know. Theater, I feel like it's
save it, Jackson. Save it for the segment.
Yeah. More red flags, like
red flags.
I guess if you're on different pages or like.
Yeah. Again, like a lot of the bad things that we were talking about on how to treat people and the expectations, those are also can be red flags. There's a ton of different red flags. You can probably. I'm gonna do a Google search. You can probably just do a Google search and find tons
red
of like.
Red flag is a card game, by the way, so you might find that every once in a while. And if you Google search.
Yeah, I'm searching relationship red flags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So lack of communication, irresponsible, immature, and unpredictable, lack of trust, significant family and friends don't like your partner. Let's see, controlling behavior, feeling insecure in the relationship, a dark or secretive past, and a past relationships that they're still, kind of involved in.
Yeah.
Those are all red flags. There's another. There's one that's it's the girl that was doing it in the movie that I was talking about earlier. She was justifying their bad behavior, not hers but theirs. That's also a red flag, because if you notice that you're justifying their behavior, like, oh, it's fine, they did something because of this, that can also be a red flag depending on what you're justifying.
Yeah, if you're justifying them committing murder,
like that's
well, at that point she couldn't justify it because she was dead.
But that's also true.
But if she was alive, she shouldn't justify it.
Yeah. If she survived it somehow.
Yeah. If you
survived murder.
If you find yourself trying to justify your boyfriend or girlfriend committing murder, then
something's wrong.
Yeah, there might be some. You might need to do a little soul searching right there.
You might need to take a step back. Take a step back, maybe
take a little mile-long walk back, just
to the police station,
Yeah. And then another kind of red flag that you mentioned right there was like insecurities and stuff.
Yeah.
I've kind of noticed
it's not bad to have insecurities.
It's not.
Everyone is insecure about things.
There's red flags doesn't necessarily mean that you need to break up with them. It's keep an eye out because this could mean something. Like me, I'm insecure. That's who I am. I'm not a very confident person. But like if that could be a sign that I've done something bad in my past that I'm like worried about or something like that.
Or maybe it's or maybe it's just like a natural insecurity that the person has. Like I know somebody who like if your significant other is insecure about I don't know. I'm
insecure because my mind wanders and I begin to think things, not because I don't trust the other person, but it's just I'm just wandering. My mind wanders.
Yeah, I get that. If you have insecurities and your partner breaks up because of you, because of that, not because of how you project it, or if you projected it wrong or they didn't like it. It's just the fact that you have insecurities. That's kind of messed up.
I tried to not voice my insecurities very much because I trust her enough. I know that she's not what I'm thinking. She's most likely not feeling that way. But as far as I know, she doesn't really have an issue with it. She just Harry Potter. Whenever I bring something like that up, she's like, "Stop doubting yourself."
Yeah. But it's good to talk out your insecurities with.
It is,
or just anyone. It doesn't even have to be your partner. It could be your friend, family. I guess your therapist too, if you have one, which isn't bad.
Someone you trust.
Don't go get a therapist if you want a therapist.
I would say there are people who you shouldn't talk about your insecurities with, people you don't trust, because
people you trust, family, friends.
Yeah, people you trust,
stuff like that.
And but if a significant other, if you should kind of know generally, if you know what the other person is really insecure about, then you really should be careful about that territory because you have to be mindful that they're insecure about that thing, and you don't want to put them in a situation that could.
I'd say that's another
harm them.
I think that's mostly a reasonable expectation.
Yes.
To expect someone to take who you are and how you handle things into account.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Like if I don't know. Like if I'm just gonna use like a kind of a guy. I'm gonna say the girlfriend notices the guy is really, really insecure because he's been going to the gym for a long time, but he doesn't really feel any different. He doesn't really feel like he's making any progress. Then she shouldn't constantly tease him and annoy him about him not making any progress at the gym.
Like, don't bring your.
You shouldn't nag about it.
Yeah.
Don't use what's it called? Don't use insecurities as ammunition. Yeah, leverage, stuff like that. Any sort. Like, just don't bring your partner down with insecurities.
Don't blackmail. You know.
Yeah.
That too.
That's a red flag itself. You know, blackmail's a big red flag.
He thinks blah 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 about himself. Like, you can't do that. That's messed up.
And plus, you need to be able to trust your partner. Another reasonable expectation to trust them not to share your insecurities and your secrets.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't tell him if you didn't trust him, right?
Yeah, but
yes.
I don't know how else to put that. Yeah.
And like, I guess a couple other red flags would be like, I don't know, just if the person won't listen to you, or
lack of communication,
or if they expect you to be someone that you're not.
Yes, that's another red flag. You just need to get away from that.
There's an old movie that I watched that's basically in the movie this guy is a zookeeper, and he proposes to his girlfriend, but she straight up denies him. Because
wait, why?
She denies him because she's a gold digger, but she denies him, and she denies him because he did a really good proposal. He took her out on a sunset walk by the beach. They were walking by. At one point, he gives this whole speech. He brings out entire band to come out and play their favorite song together. He got some guys out in the middle of the ocean to send up fireworks that spelled out her name. And he went.
Is this an Adam Sandler movie?
For this proposal, and then she just denied him because he was a zookeeper. He didn't have a really fancy car or anything. And then later on, 5 years after that, he finds out that she is dating another guy who is a millionaire or something. He has a Ferrari and all this other stuff. And then
this is definitely an Adam Sandler movie.
He goes and buys himself a really upscale apartment, a really nice car. So she comes back to him, and then she starts wasting away all the money that he just earned by quitting his zookeeping job that he actually liked. And then she starts wasting away all his money on dumb things that no human being would ever want or need.
Yeah.
There was this chair that was carved from marble or something, and it cost $1,000, and she bought it and put it in the apartment, and they never used it, but she had it in their apartment. And
yeah.
So then,
right, should we move on to fine arts?
Anyway.
Yeah, fine arts.
Past that.
Real quick, I would like to say this podcast episode is sponsored by Anchor. Now, Anchor is what we use to publish our podcast, and it's free.
There's no limit on how long the podcasts are, and they have special tools in their app and on their website that let you record and edit in the website and the app. we use Audacity to record a Google Hangout call. And they have a feature where you can upload pre-recorded audio. So we just upload our Hangout call and publish it.
And they will distribute our podcast to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other platforms you want to use. There's no minimum listenership for sponsors, which means for people like us, like startup podcasts, like small ones, with estimated 2 listeners, can still do sponsorships. So if you want to make a podcast, use Anchor.
Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
So we're going to start implementing messaging into our podcasts. So this means that if you go to our Anchor page, anchor.fm/the Locksmith podcast, you can press the button that says message and leave us an audio message, and it will play right after this segment. And so if nothing plays after this segment, then now's your chance to get your message put into this episode.
All right, so our second topic is fine arts, our second segment. So we'll be going over, we'll be discussing like the different, not necessarily perks, but different aspects to being in
Fine arts,
band, choir, and theater. And of course, this is all from only stuff we know. We are not experts in anything band, I would say.
Yeah.
Because I know none of us are in choir.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think either of y'all have ever done anything theater related. Jackson, you may have.
not for the school, but like for other events, I've done like quick little like acting things. Not really good ones.
Little gigs.
Little gigs.
But so we'll be going over stuff like that for band, choir, and theater. So we're going to start with band, and band is actually split up into two different not segments, but parts. We have concert band and we have marching band. So our first thing with concert band is the variety of instruments, variety of options you can choose when you do band.
Okay.
Like there's just a lot more instruments. Like let's see, what do we have? For concert band, you have like as extras like bassoon, bass clarinet, French horn, oboe. Is there anything else I'm missing?
Yeah.
Oh, piccolo. Oh no, piccolo's.
Piccolo, yeah.
Any other?
As opposed to what?
As opposed to marching band, you can't really play the oboe in marching band.
No, but you can play piccolo in.
Oh yeah,
you can play piccolo.
I just said that.
You can play the bass clarinet in competition band.
Oh really?
And bass.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Top band.
I think double reeds are some of the only instruments that aren't playable in marching band.
Double reeds, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I'm saying like variety of options as opposed to like choir.
Yeah.
Because choir, you have one option and it's your voice.
You're stuck with what
but
you
get. Then you got
voice.
Yeah. You only get your one option, which I mean can be a pretty versatile option in choir, but still in band you get options from all sorts of different instruments.
Yes, you could you could be a piccolo or you could be a tuba, two opposite ends of the spectrum, but you could be either one or anything in between.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's also our second point in concert band is music.
Yeah.
So when you're in band, it's you in concert band as opposed to marching band, you get a lot of you get more complicated music. Oftentimes they're longer pieces. Yes.
Things that take weeks to work on, right?
Yeah.
But like in marching band, you play pep tune, you play like stand music, pep tunes, stuff like that.
You get your show music.
Like for show music. Mainly easier ones, because you gotta also remember your places, stuff like that.
Yeah, and you have to be able to play while you're moving around.
Yes.
Also, you gotta remember where everything is relative to every, you gotta remember relative position. Because we have markers in our, we have markers in our practice field, but we don't have, markers on the real field, right?
Yeah, no. Of course, why would we?
We have some. We have the yard lines, but we don't have the 4-step intervals.
Yeah, we don't have the 4-step intervals.
We just have to kind of guess and figure it out. It's good luck. Have fun. Oh, we also have the hill match.
Yeah, I remember when I first came in, I got the first part for some reason, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, you're leading one of the actions or whatever, one of the strings. You know how people move in
one
lines?
Of the lines. Yeah.
Yeah. But I had to go diagonal, and I was just like, huh, okay.
We have
why?
Trombones leading one of our lines. It's not good. They keep they keep taking steps forward when we're going to the side. So we end up with half the line is curved toward it looks it looks like a full on drift, skid marks from a drift. That's what our lines look like.
Yeah.
The cars going.
But anyway, so yeah, in concert band you get oftentimes not necessarily better music, but more challenging music and longer music.
Yeah.
And again. And the next thing for concert band is so again hitting on the variety of options. You get a bunch of different sounds. So not just you can pick a bunch of different instruments. You can also, when you're playing in the band, you get a ton of different sounds that you get to hear while you're in the band. So, and then the next one is. As opposed to marching band, you get comfort. You wear what you want.
You get to sit down.
You actually get water when you want it.
Yes, and you get to, you can wear a T-shirt if you want to. You don't have to wear that uniform.
Yeah. Also, you have less of a chance to get skin cancer from UV radiation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, no rain. Rain and woodwinds do not work well together.
Yeah, they
Thunder
do not.
And brass instruments do not go together.
Thunder and almost every instrument in the band don't work well together.
Yeah, good point. I mean, imagine being a sousaphone when
they're a literal pole for lightning.
They're a giant metal disc strapped to the top of your head. If anyone's gonna get struck, it's you. If you're playing sousaphone.
Or a flute who's holding their flute up. I don't know why they would do that.
Because that thing's a lightning rod right there.
Yeah, they have a death wish or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but I guess sousaphone, because it wraps around your body. There's so many contact points. You're just completely screwed.
Yeah, you're
gonna
it doesn't work because you're wearing a cap. Fine, elbow.
Yeah. You got your arms. You got your stomach. You got your back.
Strike me down.
The back of your neck. You got your waist and just all those contact points. Where there's metal touching you, and the metal conducts electricity, so you get electrocuted and die.
Well, I mean, not many people die from a lightning strike, I think, right?
No. It's I'm not
sure.
There was a dude who got struck by lightning 8 times or something like that.
Wow.
He's still survived. He's still fine, but he's just been completely. He's just completely out of it at this point.
It's just a bullet. Ever been struck by lightning? Just stuff like that,
Yeah. So our next
I went to lay in my bed.
Okay.
I'm back in the chair now.
Our next point is something that is specific to just band. Well, not necessarily. It's specific to band and possibly choir. When in doubt, leave it out.
You can't really do that with theater.
Yeah.
Theater
is just you forget a line, you're
performing Hamlet.
So
you just forget. You're performing the Hamlet graveyard scene, and you're to be or what was the next line again? Dang it.
You're just to be
or Well,
no, you're just stuck. You have to do the position.
We're just
You have
Just
to
a 2-minute long silence.
there. You can't just skip
Yeah, I
that
feel like
line.
theater is the most difficult mix in terms of like being in terms of like physicality. I think theater is the most like perfect mix for disaster. Like
Yeah.
not that theater is bad. I'm just saying that it's such a task to get like the final product, right? Between like when I say mix, I mean between choir and band, as in you perform like band and you like move around what like marching, and you deliver lines like choir and like set up stuff for like other like competition band. You set up props, but like theater does that all the time.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we just have to do it for like a couple months. They have to do it the entire freaking year.
yeah, and it's not like they even get appreciated as much as the band, mainly because the band in marching is like football.
Save it for the theater part.
Isn't this theater part?
No,
we
have to go through choir first.
We were just ranting a little bit about theater. We could skip choir for now.
Choir.
Well,
I feel like
we'll come back to choir.
The easiest out of the two.
Well, we're not. We still have to get through band too.
Oh yeah.
We haven't done the marching bit.
Okay, well, we'll go back to marching band now.
Right.
Marching band is actually like, I really enjoy marching band.
Marching band is awesome.
Yeah.
Marching band is like I'll do it to play an instrument. Like I'll do it to take classes to play an instrument, right?
Yeah. Plus, it's kind of fun. Plus, on like the first day of practice, it's kind of fun to watch the freshmen like freak out about where the dots are supposed to be.
Yep.
It's just like.
I would be saying the same thing if I were there.
Yeah. You get an extra sticker. It's fine. You get an extra.
No. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm not gonna march this year. That's gonna be great because I don't like marching. But next year when I come back, it's like, so
you're gonna be out of practice.
Yeah, I'll act like a freshman.
You're gonna basically be a freshman.
I'm the junior freshman.
Yeah. It's gonna suck coming back to symphonic band not knowing how to play your instrument, right? Well, it's not like I won't be practicing. I mean,
you could ask. I'll just say the band director because I don't know. But you could ask him for a bass clarinet.
A bass
practice
clarinet,
with later.
Or you could just like give me your address and I could just like drive one to your house.
Do you have a bass clarinet?
No, just like go get one from the school, drive it by your house, drop it on the front porch, and then ding dong ditch.
Ding dong ditch. I think they don't have enough bass clarinets.
They might not. You could probably wait till like this 4th week of school, maybe a month into school, and then ask. Be like, hey, do you have any leftover bass clarinets I could use?
Or I could buy a bass clarinet for like $2,000, $3,000 to $5,000.
You could
but
be in the
I don't think that would be a good investment.
Yeah.
Considering
so
that
the first little point on marching band is one that Jackson said. Jackson says that it gets you ripped.
I wouldn't say that.
I say that.
I
say that because you do get it is good exercise. I mean, look at my old my old section leader. Like that dude.
That dude got it right.
He was like ripped.
Then you also
really just cardio and endurance is something.
Yeah.
And it helps me a lot with that.
Well, unless you're like holding up a baritone like this for like an hour.
I mean, even then you're still getting stronger.
You got that you get like that shoulder and like upper arm muscle a little bit.
Yeah, like of course it always.
You only get built up in those spots though, like nothing else. That's the time you gotta work out at home.
Yeah.
So then our second point for
we already have a gym house. Oh yeah, right.
Our next point for
a bit
second point.
The second point.
The second point is uncomfortable.
Yes.
I mean, you're sitting out there in 100-degree heat.
That's what
short
in our uniform,
standing here.
Yeah, like before in our uniform, is a double-edged sword because we may perform in 27-degree weather or a humid 70 to 90-degree weather. Like
yeah.
you can't.
Sweating or you're freezing. There's no middle ground.
Yeah.
There's no middle ground.
Sweating or you're freezing.
There's another. I don't remember what I was gonna say.
Brain farts.
Brain farts, am I right?
Brain farts.
Can you smell what the rock is cooking? Fart. No one remembers that.
No.
Like when people would be like, "Can you smell what the rock is cooking?" And then the fart because it's funny. It's a joke. No, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm going to start doing that every once in a while. Funny rock joke. Funny fart go bird.
Oh, I remember. Shrieker, do you have you seen what the uniforms are this year?
No, I didn't. Actually, how do they look?
They're so since they don't want people coming by the band room before games now, they are switching the uniforms to Under Armour shirts.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Under Armour shirts.
That's it?
No, well, pants too, but they're switching it to band, we're getting special band Under Armour shirts.
They're not gonna let us just wear a T-shirt.
Yeah,
I was about to say
they're not gonna do that.
But I mean, now all we have to wear is a dry fit T-shirt.
Which, by the way, if we're doing all virtual, do we still have to come to the band games?
For what band?
Yeah, for band.
For marching band?
Yeah, marching band.
Yes.
They told me. We do?
Yes.
Wait, for real?
Unless you're not doing it, yes.
No, they're not. Yeah, I'm not doing it. Like, they told me to take a hiatus. Or,
okay, then you're not doing it.
You're joining.
If you're going to do marching band, then you need to come to the band room. If you're not going to do marching band, then you don't.
I'm not.
Then you don't need
to watch you suffer. No, I'm joking.
I'm not suffering. I'm having fun. It's you who is suffering.
Honestly,
literally.
Dude, I'm going to be so bored. I've been stuck in this house for almost a year now.
Yeah, a year.
It's going to be a year after a semester. Or not a full year, but really close, man. 10 months is pretty long.
10 months stuck in one house.
All right.
There are vaccines coming soon, so I have hope. I have some everlasting grain of hope.
Do you want to hit the next few points in quick succession so we can move on to choir and theater?
Yeah, let's just start whacking this.
All right, the next few ones, you still can do when in doubt, leave it out. So if you don't know something, you can leave it out.
You can skip it.
Yeah. The next one, at least for me and Jackson, I think, and Tanner and a bunch of other people, football games with marching band are a lot of fun.
Yes.
Football games are fun to watch, but they get kind of repetitive when your team is one of the best in the high school prefecture and stuff.
Well, it's fun to be there,
What I enjoy is being in the stands.
Yeah.
Standing here with all the other guys, just
Yeah, what I enjoy is the community, right?
Headbang.
The fun community, right? But what I hate
Mario
is when people ruin
Mario
it
jumping
by
in a circle.
being lazy and not doing stuff.
Yeah.
And then they ruin our chance to take a little break to sit down and stuff.
But I mean, my little flute group, with Tanner and another male flute and a female flute, we football games are awesome for us because we have stuff we do every football game, and it's just it's a fun game.
Like Mario.
Sorry if I
circles.
Sorry, Jan.
It's fun. But we just have an hour or two where we just get to sit and talk and play music and yell.
Do dumb crap.
Yeah, a lot.
Our spelling, the baritone section spelling stuff during Sunshine.
You're not the only section that spells stuff, Jack.
What do you guys spell?
Whatever we feel like spelling.
Okay. See, we spell other things. We spell the stories of years past. The dumb things that people did.
Yeah.
I'll tell you off camera what it is if you want, but
I've heard a couple of them. But let's see. So the next one is you get PE credits, at least for our school system.
So we don't have to do PE and
great.
Yep.
get the sweaty locker rooms and have to dodge deodorant.
Yeah, but you only need 1 PE credit, so you could quit band after that if you want to.
Yeah.
People who quit band after the first year, those are the ones who are not true band people.
Yeah. No, honestly,
and also they betray us.
Skip in 6th grade, or people who quit in 7th grade, like, you're not a band kid. If you only did 1 year for band, you're not a band kid.
You're not a band kid, yeah.
At least 3 years, and then you're a band kid. That's it.
Yeah.
So for us, 9th grade.
Yes, we are band kids.
Band kids, we've
For us,
finally done
like,
it.
For us, once we were in 8th grade, we became band kids.
Yeah.
8th grade? When do you start band?
Yeah.
Our 3rd year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you said at least.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm smart. Once you make it into 9th grade, you can quit and call yourself a band kid. Or you were a band kid.
Yeah, you were a band kid. We're still band kids. We're good band kids. We're still good band kids.
Yeah,
all right, so our next one.
Down by, we're not
our next one
down by Josiah's girlfriend because we quit.
Wait, so what, Jackson?
Yeah. Josiah,
what did you say, Jackson?
Your girlfriend vowed to hunt down the baritones, when we are seniors, the freshman baritones of that year. She has vowed to hunt them down if they quit band. So.
I mean,
okay.
Quit band, I don't blame them.
And there's like 20 of them.
If it gets, like I started band as like a just thing I wanted to try out, and I really liked it. So if people try it out, they don't like it, and they realize they don't like it a little too late, like 3 years later, then yeah. Or if they take it for an easy grade.
I can understand that people will quit it. I mean, there's nothing against them for that, besides that they betrayed us. But it's just they can't. The only thing they can't do is call themselves band kids.
Yeah.
Because they're not band kids anymore because they quit.
Yeah. There's a difference between like quitting and leaving honorably.
Yes. And there's also a difference between
there is no honor in quitting. If you're forced to leave or like you had to leave in order to do something.
Yeah.
Was going to advance your career or something like that.
Like if you don't have time or something like that. That's okay.
Like you're not,
that's fine.
Like there's like no way that you'd be able to.
Yeah.
Then it's like
that's reasonable. That's understandable.
You retain your honor.
Yes. All right. And so our last point for marching band is that it comes with concert band, at least for us. If you do concert band, you have to do both.
We have to do concert band as in we play for an audience. We don't do marching. We play the instruments for concert. We have our own divisions in school as well.
Yeah.
Now, choir.
Yeah. Choir. None of us, I don't think, know much about choir, but or at least we're not experts. We're not experts.
Yeah.
I say choir requires less effort.
Yeah. Not necessarily. Like it's.
I feel like a lot of people.
I
feel like people.
Less effort physically, not necessarily mentally, because mentally you have to memorize where all the notes are in your voice instead of just fingerings.
I'd say
but
physically tasking. In terms of like.
I have no idea where a B flat is with my voice.
Yeah, I mean, I can guess based on what I memorized my sound for my oboe and my flute,
exactly.
But I cannot just base like purely off my voice if I'm on key. So that's one of the things that's going to make choir harder. And then, but I mean, for band, I think band would be harder because you're blowing and not just singing.
And you have to read while you're playing.
Well, they have to read too occasionally.
Well,
like, and that's another thing for choir. Choir memorizes their music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
everything's
that we don't.
Literally everything.
Well, yeah, but I mean, for concert band does not memorize the music.
Yeah.
Here's what I would say is the tier list for physically tasking. Number 1, theater. Number 2, band. Number 3.
Well, I wouldn't say the theater is the top physically tasking.
Band and choir are like pretty close.
Yeah.
Because it's like theater, like you have to like run around the stage, move everything. I mean, if you have like a giant mountain that you have to move 50 feet to get onto the middle of the stage. Or you have to
you
move
paint
it.
your sets, you make your sets.
You have to move it from that end of the.
It's like a combination of
that
everything. You paint, make, and perform.
Like moving a mountain would be different.
Like performing.
I'd say that
performing takes memorization, singing, and movement.
I'd say that theater and band, at least on the physically tasking level, are about the same. Just because band, they do different things as far as what's physically tasking.
See, the thing is,
and it's hard.
The thing is, with the marching band, it doesn't last all year.
Yeah.
It doesn't. But then
theater does.
Well, in theater, not all of theater is physical. Marching band, all of marching band is physical. So again, there's different things. I would mark them about the same because they both have different things. Not all of them are comparable. Like I wouldn't think that theater would have to do aerobics every band camp or
aerobics.
Yeah, Cicero stretches and stuff like that. And then they also don't have to march. Learn like it's like they don't have to march. They act. So there are different things. They're not all of them are comparable just because they're different levels of.
Personally, I think.
I don't think theater and choir have to do yoga before practice.
Yeah.
That's what our band directors have us do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I would say theater and band are very close in physically tasking levels, and choir's much lower down because they sing.
Well,
they don't. I don't think choir has. I mean, you have like show choir. Show choir, I would say.
Show choir.
Yeah, show choir is a little. It's more up there.
It's higher than choir, but lower than mid.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine trying to.
If not equal.
But then again, think about this: you have to learn to sing in another language.
Sometimes, not all the time.
But that's like mentally tasking.
Yeah, that's when we're talking about physically.
Mentally tasking.
I would say, I was gonna say all of them are equal because there's so many different things for each of them. For band, you've got to learn how to read music. You've got to read music well. You've got to be able to play at the same time as reading music. You've got to be able to march while doing all of that. For choir, you've got to be able to sing, learn different languages, possibly. Memorize.
Pitch.
Yes, right.
Work in harmony with your other.
And then you've also got to, for theater, memorize your lines, be able to act well, be able to act natural while doing all of that.
Yeah.
You got to be able to move around all your stuff. It's just they're all.
There's theater is more time intensive, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Water drinking simulator.
All right, so that's it for choir. I'd say,
theater on no.
For choir, our few. Let's go over our points for choir.
You don't have to purchase an instrument.
Yeah.
You have to learn an instrument, so you don't have to waste $1,000 trying to buy a chunk of metal that you're going to use for 5 years and then leave.
I wouldn't say it's a waste.
Well,
but I would say you don't have to use.
For the people that buy, for the people who buy the instrument and then leave 2 years later or something.
Well, then they've wasted their money, but there's an option for rent.
Yeah.
But either way, you're not spending money you're just not spending money. You don't need to learn an instrument, memorize all the fingerings. There's not as much of a variation in the kinds of sounds you hear and your options. Because you don't have instruments, you just have your voice, and voices, they sound different, but they're not different sounds, like a tuba versus an oboe. Those are very different sounds. And then theater. Shrieker, our top one is your respect.
Yes, theater has Shrieker's respect.
I have a lot of respect for theater kids, mainly because they spend nights over. How we practice for marching band? I see theater kids doing work as we're leaving. And I've talked to many people who are in theater. They leave at 9, or they get a bunch of virtual work too somehow. I don't know how, but I do trust my friends. So, or they're just really dumb and can't do homework. But I doubt it's the latter of the two. So I see that. I see how much they're grinding and have such a big payoff, but not much appreciation, right? See, for band, marching is one of our big things, right? Only because we're assigned to football. and there's already a preset audience that it can appreciate and find and explore band itself. But with theater, it's like only fine arts, and fine arts is like choir and theater and band. See, like if you have two more other things, it's like it's not really appealing, right? So you have to have a drive for theater to appreciate theater, number one. Number two, theater isn't really the biggest thing to like it's not easy to spread unless you have like hits like Hamilton or Phantom of the Opera, right? That will interest other people to explore. Unless it's just like, oh, it's just a genuinely good story. What if there are other things like that, right? So I feel like theater doesn't really have much appreciation in our school as like, because at least that's what I think, right? Mostly it's just the students' parents or just other students who want to hang out with friends, right? It's not like people who want to watch theater for theater, unless it's just like someone who quit theater for other reasons.
Yeah.
Like,
So, the next thing we talked about the sum for theater, lots and lots of practice.
Yes.
Yeah, lots of practice.
Like
I would say the practice levels are equivalent of comp band.
More than that. Like, okay.
Oh, I would say
probably, because they do it all year. So yeah, it's definitely more than comp band because comp band is not all year.
Josiah,
but they do
back in middle school when we had the middle school plays. The people who were in the plays would have like 4 or 5 hours practice every single day, leading up until the performance.
Yeah, but like at first the practices
you had no
right?
time.
There's planning, there's set building, but later on there's a lot more practices, a lot more time is put into it. But I the reason I say it's equal to comp band is because comp band is consistently every single day except for Wednesday and the weekends, unless there's a competition, which there most likely is on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Or at least that's how our prefecture does it, and like that's like really intensive. That's like super hard to do and pull off and win, like our school did last year, and I still find that incredibly impressive. And comp band is a lot longer than marching band, I would say, mainly because you have to do marching band and comp band like together, and you have to learn like 2 sets of music, memorize 2 sets of music, like 2 sets of performances, which are like marching band isn't really as intensive as comp band, and I would say because of that, I would say like even though it doesn't last all year, it measures up to theater. I'd say that.
Like in last year's first competition band performance in front of like everybody, like it was like their first performance or something like that. I don't remember, but like a kid got his hand crushed, some other kid broke their leg or something. It was like, oof.
Because one of the things fell. One of the props fell.
Yeah, one of the props fell during one of the games, and they had to pull over an ambulance.
Yeah.
And also with theater, there are certain kids that do certain things like prop building and acting, right?
Yeah. If you don't do
neither
your job,
are easy.
Neither
are easy. Yeah.
If you don't do your job, everyone fails. With
comp band, you can't work like different things in advance. With theater, you can. Not saying that's easier. I'm just saying like you have more room to work. With comp band, like you have to work together. You have to work separately and together at the same time, which I would say is very difficult. And if it wasn't for that, I would say like if it wasn't for that, the double work that they have to do with marching band and comp band, I would say like it's equal to or more than theater in terms of like labor and just doing work, right?
Yeah.
Does our theater department do the
other good thing about then another like positive about theater is like one, they get to practice, like they get to perform shows that maybe your school's theater is doing Hamilton or Phantom of the Opera or probably not Macbeth, because from what I've heard, I think it's Macbeth that's like supposedly cursed, but
Macbeth that's cursed?
I think so. Hold on, let me Google this real quick.
What's an SCP? There's a curse.
But either way, But either way, theater does good shows,
Yeah, theater. I feel like theater is mostly appreciated in high schools and any school in general.
Supposedly cursed, like the play, because like 3 theaters or something burned down while performing Macbeth, and then also like whenever supposedly stuff always goes wrong, like horribly wrong when you perform Macbeth.
So don't perform Macbeth?
Yeah, so that's why I say
listen.
Probably not Macbeth, or supposedly. This is what I'm told from the theater kids.
Yeah.
Cool.
Apparently what you're supposed to do if, like, from what I was told, if, I'm probably wrong here, but from what I was told, if you, like, even say the word Macbeth inside of a theater, you have to, like, run outside and do something to, like, get rid of the bad luck from it. Like,
yeah. Of course, I'm not one for superstition, but when I see there are multiple things connected to something, I'm more of a person to, like, stray away from that. Like, sure, I don't believe it, but I'm not taking my chances, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it's like going into a horror movie scene. It's like, you don't go to a broken mansion and expect good things to come out of it.
Like, I don't think that there is some curse associated with it, but, like, just in case there's some secret society who's working against Macbeth and, like, destroying and rigging the plays to go wrong, then, like,
Yeah. Legend has it, if you complete Macbeth, the whole thing will burn down. But if you complete it successfully, world famine will be stopped or something, right?
Yeah.
Alright, anyways, just say
our next point is costumes.
Yeah.
Costumes.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Yeah.
I'd say that each of the 3 fine arts have something that you have to do, or something that you have to wear when you're performing. Marching band and concert band both have you wear uniforms or suits and dresses. Choir, you have to I believe you have to wear either a uniform or a dress or a suit or a shirt,
something like that for choir.
Something like that. Yeah, you have to wear something. And then theater, you have costumes. So yeah.
With
right, and
show choir also has to wear costumes. I forget about that.
Yeah. We did not manage to get Tanner on, so we will not be doing his interview this week. Maybe next week.
The other bad thing in theater.
Oh yeah.
Imagine if you're doing, like, Romeo and Juliet.
Ooh.
And you're doing Romeo and Juliet with, like, 3 or 4 of your best friends, and then, like, your best friend ends up becoming, like, Juliet and you're Romeo. Like, oof.
Do you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Like, that would suck.
Yeah, honestly, like, if you play a like evil character, like just a scummy character in general, and you pull it off, people will start questioning you, man. I think.
Yeah.
Or at least I would assume so.
Like when our friend Draco played Jafar.
Yeah.
He did, like, a pretty good job of it.
He did.
We didn't, like, start to question whether he was really an evil wizard intent on taking over the kingdom, but,
The kingdom that is your school?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
We didn't actually think he had a giant snake on a stick, with which he was using to mind control people.
Yeah. Alright. So, we didn't... Are we done with that?
Yes.
Yeah, basically. That's it.
Alright. So we didn't manage to get Tanner onto the call. So we're not doing his interview this week. Maybe next week. If they can get the questions for my interview done, then we might could do mine. Or Baden's if Baden's on next week.
Finish that today.
Not today, but next week. For next week.
Yeah. Next week,
And I would like to, can you cut this little thing I'm about to say out? So I guess that's it for today. By the way, I don't think we mentioned this. Sheikar has COVID, So I hope you've been wearing your mask while listening to us. No.
Comedy gold, guys. Comedy.
Well,
10 out of 10. Do it harder, man. You gotta clap. Clap. Yeah.
Clap while Shrieker isn't talking.
That's a great idea. God dang it. Wait, try it again.
3, 2.
There.
Comedy.
Go.